The doubter is the true man of science. Right? So in this question, in this topic, what kind of questions can you include while you are discussing? Anecdote, introduction, that we'll do later on. What are the things you can discuss here? Yes, anyone? Sorry?
What is science?
What is science? Okay, that can be a small part here. What else?
Who is it?
Who is a doubter? Okay. So you can start with writing what is science, right? And then who is a doubter? What else?
Who is the man of science?
The same thing, only science. When we are talking doubter, we have to connect.
Who is the true man?
Okay, or you can, here you can include in your writing that how a doubt or a skeptic, a person carrying doubt, he is a true man of science. When I am talking about questions, what is science, who is a doubter, these are the peripheral issues which you can write little bit in start or in between. But the basic question lies like how a person who doubts, how a person who is skeptic about something, right? He's doubting that, okay, say take example of Galileo, he was a doubter. That church had told that your earth, earth is at the center. They gave a geocentric model and all the other planets, they revolve around it, right? But he doubted that, right? That it might not be true, and then he came with the model that it is a heliocentric model. Through its observation, Nicholas Copernicus was the first person to tell, and Galileo confirmed it through the usage of telescope, right? So a person, how his doubt, it will lead to him being a man of science. That we have to discuss. The next question can be that is doubt always good? Right? And lastly, in the conclusion, we will discuss how to develop this man, right, who is skeptic in nature, who questions everything, right, who doubts everything, doesn't take anything on the face value. He will be asking different questions about the particular things, that why this is happening, how this is happening, right, what is the mechanism, right, what is the benefit, what is the disadvantage. If you are doing this, then you can be seen as a man of science. So when we are talking about science, science is a body of knowledge, right? And this body of knowledge is based on empiricism. Empiricism is when you observe something, right? There is logic, right? It is not based on superstition or belief. There will be particular logic in something, right? What else? What are the features? Empiricism, logic. How do you define science? Sorry? Evidence, okay. Universal also, and reasoning of something, right? Or better would be you will try to find out cause and effect, right? So your science is a body of knowledge which has these following characteristic. And one very important thing is that science requires evidence, and there can be new evidence over the year. Right? So there's a term known as, when we are talking about science, there is a term known as falsification. So in science, new concepts come through the process of falsification. We falsify some theory and new theory comes up. Now how do we falsify? First step has to be, we doubt it, that something better might be there. Right? So science always is based on that there can be new evidences, there can be new logic. Right? We observe the thing rather than taking them on the face value. Right? And always being a skeptic. The person who accepts everything as it is, right? He is not a man of science. Right? There have been so many theories. Science has been a subject. It has grown as a subject because there were people who over the years challenged everything. At some point of time, the major law was your Newtonian physics, Newton's law. Right? And then Albert Einstein came, he gave his relativity theory, the entire framework of science which was working, that changed. Right? So it's not that Newton's theory was bad, right? It was working, it was telling you about the laws of forces, right? But Albert Einstein, he opened a new avenue to talk about, right? His relativity theory, at some point of time, it included that how time and space, they are relative in nature, right? So it was a kind of a fourth dimension which he introduced into the science. So science is something where doubt only leads to its growth. When doubt stops, your science dies. It becomes a kind of a superstition, that because everybody is believing and that is why it is true. So we keep on questioning ourselves. So any person who calls himself a man of science will always doubt things. Right? So now this person who is a doubter, right, he is someone who challenges assumptions. Right? Someone who challenges the status quo. Whatever is already established, he questions those things. He questions that status quo, doesn't take anything on the face value. Right? He is a man who believes in experimentation, collection of data or evidence. And we are not just talking about science per se as a subject or a body of knowledge. Just we are saying that anything, if we are terming it as scientific, it directly means that it is not based on belief, it is not based on faith. Right? So even when we are talking about this true man of science, just not with respect to the scientific background, but everything, even religion he questions. Right? That you question if a certain belief you are having, don't follow it blindly. Right? Even though the explanations might not be scientific in nature, but at least you see, is it making certain sense? Different social evils, if you talk about, if you don't doubt them, that they have been created by men or they have been given in the scriptures, you're not really a man of science. You're just having a blind faith when you fail to even question your own religion, whatever you're following. That why I am doing this particular practice, why this particular ritual is there in the society. You question everything, right? You base your actions on base of skepticism, right? You challenge the assumptions, right? So these things will make you a true man of science. Now we will discuss further also. Now this essay, if you see, it has very less dimensions to discuss. Right? And it might appear a little difficult also to explore more of dimensions. Right? So when you are choosing your essay topic, choose always something which has broader dimensions, where more examples can come in, right, which can be easier to elaborate, right, where different approaches, different questions, special approach might be used as example. This topic is not bad, but as compared to the other topics, it might be having little less content, so avoid that. Sometimes students have this doubt that, ma'am, this is an easy essay. Say for example, in next section we'll do your this social media topic, right? So that's a pretty easy topic, much easier topic. It's from every day-to-day life is there, right? It's easy, you don't have to interpret anything. Directly a line is given and you have to elaborate on this. So some students ask that, ma'am, this is an easy topic, everybody will be writing on it, should I avoid that? So please give up this notion that if out of say 15,000 people are writing, if 9,000 people have written on this topic, you will get less marks. No, your essay is always evaluated as your own, in isolation with which others have written, right? It's not that if anybody has written on an easier topic, he will get less marks. You write a good essay on an easier topic, you will get more marks. If you write a bad essay on a difficult topic, you will get, obviously it's much worse than writing good content in easy essay which everybody is attempting. Your only criteria for selection of topics should be more dimensions, more questions, more examples. That's it. Other than that, you don't worry about this is an easy topic. This might appear as an easy topic for you. Probably for other people it might be difficult. So don't judge it on the basis of easy or tough. Judge it on the base that will I be able to justify the essay? Will I be able to write it in 1,000 words? It should not happen that within 500 words you do not have enough content to write, and then you worry that, okay, I have written already 3 pages, should I cut it down, start with new essay? It will waste time. You will just destroy your essay paper. So choose your topics very, very judiciously. Choose those things where you are comfortable with. Forget about everybody, right? Second question is starting of essay. Right? So anecdote is the best way to start it. Some people also ask that, ma'am, if I follow the same concept in each of the essay, it will become very boring. No, it's a way to start an essay. When you write your GS questions, 20 questions, each topic starts with the introduction only. There is nothing special you do in every question. It's same. So it's just a structure. Probably you can do an experimentation that in one essay you write a fictional story, in other you write a real-time example, or in one essay you compare 2 situations, right? So those things you can do in your essay. That's fine, but give an interesting start rather than giving a boring start to your essay, right? Okay, coming back here. So when we are talking skeptic or a doubter as a true man of science, so this person, they challenge the assumption. Here anecdote you can write about Galileo, right? He is the best example. At the start you can tell that he was a skeptic, right? He questioned the dogmas, the superstitions which were created by the Catholic Church at that time, and he emerged as a true man of science. Now, so here your assumptions are challenged, right? Whatever we are assuming, which we are taking as a common sense, right? They challenge it and lead to discovery of new avenues. Right? So even in the historical part you can write down that the development of human civilization itself is based on people who have asked questions. If we, primitive people, they started thinking about rain or any kind of natural phenomena as, that God is probably angry or God is probably happy, and that is why these rain or storms or floods are happening, right? But people through the time, they questioned it, they tried to find out why this is happening, and over the years things have changed. So anybody who challenges the assumption, he will be the true man of science. Then you can write it promotes your innovation, right? New innovative ideas come in, right? Say for example, starting of the universe, right? Different religions usually have different conceptions. Who is the first man? Who is the first woman? Right? It was the science who through your Charles Darwin, who doubted this at some point of time, and he came up with his theory of evolution. Right? Or start of the universe through Big Bang. Right? Not with respect to Charles Darwin, general. So it promotes new ideas, innovation, right? When we doubt something, that it's not possible that someday two human beings, Adam and Eve, they just landed on earth and started the human civilization. Something is wrong with this, right? I should doubt it. I should find out that how human beings have evolved, how Homo sapiens as a species has come up, and development of our civilizations. It has happened because of these people only, who have doubted things, who have not taken things on your face value. Otherwise, we would, as a civilization, we would have been stagnated at the Stone Age only, if we would not have questioned things. Over the years, the growth or the development of the civilization from your Stone Age to settled agriculture, to your industrial societies, and now to your societies where we are moving towards industrial revolution 4.0, it is basic foundation is of questioning things, right? Challenging things, doubting things, right? So this should be the gist of your particular essay. Then next you can write down that it leads to strengthening of scientific integrity also, right? It's not that one, but so in science one rule is there, peer review, right? That even if theory is there, you take it as a skeptic, right? You get it reviewed by the peers, right? So people doubt it, question it, and then it is seen as a good theory, that because peers have also evaluated it, right? So it, because of this, a scientific integrity is also created, that it is not anybody who has made this particular theory. There are people who have questioned this and tried to see that if this theory actually fits or not, right? So you can write this point also. Then a skeptic, he prevents any kind of misinformation also, right? So in this age where misinformation or pseudoscience is there, which can spread rapidly through your internet, skepticism, it acts as a safeguard, right? Like in today's time, you might have seen, our parents are very vulnerable to whatever they see on WhatsApp. They feel that will be true, right? So usually what do we tell to our parents? That always try to research it, doubt it, don't take it on a face value. If that UNESCO has declared this thing, national anthem, as the best, so don't take it on the face value, question it, right? So because this will lead to misinformation if you're not questioning anything, right? That if some fake news comes up, you are not verifying it, you are not seeing with it a doubt. Like recently, not just recently, any communal riots happened. The people, certain elements in the society, anti-social elements in the society, they'll start circulating morphed videos, right? They'll start circulating videos which are not even of India, or which are not even of the incident, right? So with this, if we are not doubting that there might be some problem, right? Because we know that if any information we see, you usually go and Google it, that okay, do you get any particular reliable source of information, then only you trust it. So this skepticism is needed. Like yesterday only I came across a tweet which said that Saudi Arabia has banned any kind of prayers for Palestine, right? So that was getting viral on Twitter, that even Saudi Arabia has banned it. So I searched on Google, it was a fake news, right? So doubt something. Why would a Muslim country ask that okay, you stop praying for Palestine? It will not, It was just as a fake news it was spread. Because I was a skeptic, I doubted that probably something is wrong, this might be a fake news. I was able to find out that okay, this is not true. So this skepticism, it prevents any kind of misinformation to go out, right? So this thing also you can include it here. Then you can give examples of different scientists have been there, right? You give their examples that because of them we were able to find out, different your theories were created because of them. The next part will be that negatives of your excessive doubt. So there's a quote you can write down that excessive skepticism can paralyze progress. When you doubt everything, that this might be wrong, you will not be able to make progress. So skepticism also in weighed quantity, which is relevant, right? Which is kind of doable, right? Not that if you came across some video, you got a specific source which says it's a false news, and then you keep on searching for other news, for other evidences, and you waste your whole day when one piece of authentic source of news was enough to prove the point, right? So the excessive skepticism, it can paralyze progress, right? Moderation in all things is the key. You need to be moderate in things. Skepticism and doubt is good, but in moderation, in limits, right? Because at the end of the day you have to, if you take it from science perspective, you have to form some theory. It's not that for 10 years you are keeping that theory in doubt, right? You do a peer review, 5-10 people review it, people doubt it, and they come up with the theory that no, this theory is fine. That's more than enough. Doubting something can paralyze the progress. Then you can say that, persistent doubt, it can undermine authority also sometimes. Like today you will find out that there are certain people who are known as climate change skeptics. They don't believe that climate change is happening, it's just a conspiracy theory. Or any conspiracy theorist. You'll find out on internet there are so many users on Reddits with their group who just believe in any kind of conspiracy theory that this is happening, the backstory is related to this politician has this particular view. So they will create all kind of conspiracy theories around it. So doubt, but don't undermine the authority. If some scientific authority like IPCC, it is saying with evidence that climate change is happening, you have to accept it, right? You cannot go to the Antarctica and do your own, studies, etc. At some level, you will have to trust authority. Don't undermine it. Question it. That's okay, right? Read their contents, what they have written. That okay, these are the figures, these are the statistics. But trust something which comes from an authority, right? Don't undermine some expert in that particular issue. Then same things, conspiracy theory, sometimes over speculation, they will fuel conspiracy theories also, right? That people who are anti-vaccine, right? In COVID, there were many people, especially in the West, they were saying that it is a conspiracy theory to introduce a new type of virus in us. The state wants to control us, control our mind, right? And they never took vaccines. So doubting so much, right? It can fuel these kind of conspiracy theories which are counterproductive to you. Right? There are people in West who are known as anti-vaxxers. They don't get their children vaccinated from basic diseases, and that's very dangerous. Not getting a vaccine for chickenpox, smallpox, all these things, they don't get it because they're too skeptic that government is using some kind of mind control through these vaccinations. So these kind of over doubting can lead to these conspiracy theories which are not good in any manner, right? Then lastly, you will write down about the way forward, that how do you cultivate this skepticism, right? How do you encourage it? So you encourage it through your critical thinking, that people have to think in a critical manner, analyze evidence, right? and you have to doubt intelligently, right? Not blindly, even doubt has to be intelligently. Then curiosity has to be developed, right? You have to be able to differentiate between facts and claims, right? So these things will help you to create a man who is skeptic in nature, cultivate skepticism also. Then being open to change, open to constructive criticism, that is also very important. Then engagement in certain kind of debate, right? So in skepticism also, if you are having doubt for something, best form will be you engage in some debate with the other person rather than forcing, no, this is my doubt and this should be the right way. Engage in certain debate and try to see who is putting across a better point. So in this way, skepticism can be inculcated in humans and we can make them a true man of science. Right? Are we clear here? So this essay, in these 3-4 aspects, you can explain it. You can give examples with respect to religion also. You can give example with respect to this conspiracy theories, your fake news, right? All these examples can be included, but still it is an essay which will require more specific points, right? So if you see social media, there will be a lot of generic points which you can write down, but here specificity is required. So you might miss this, but don't read it, right? Okay.